The twin flame journey is a path of spiritual transformation, love, and deep self discovery. It is not merely a romantic connection, but a divine union orchestrated by the universe to awaken both counterparts to their highest selves. At the core of this journey lies the dynamic between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. While both experience profound growth and change, the awakening of the divine masculine is often more challenging, as he must break free from deep seated conditioning, fears, and illusions that have kept him in a state of separation. The divine masculine is often perceived as the runner in the twin flame connection, seemingly detached and resistant to the intensity of the bond. However, this resistance is not due to a lack of love, but rather a subconscious defense mechanism against the overwhelming transformation the connection demands. His awakening is a gradual process, unfolding through various stages of self-realization, healing, and surrender to the divine plan. Understanding how the divine masculine awakens to the connection with his divine feminine sheds light on the deeper aspects of the twin flame journey. It provides clarity and reassurance to those who feel lost in the complexities of separation and uncertainty. This awakening is not a straightforward path. It is filled with challenges, revelations, and spiritual growth that ultimately lead him back to his divine feminine and, more importantly, to himself. When the divine masculine first encounters his divine feminine, he experiences an immediate and profound recognition. This is not just an ordinary attraction. It is a deep soul-level knowing that shakes him to the core. The connection stirs emotions he has never felt before, triggering both excitement and fear. At a subconscious level, he recognizes the divine feminine as his mirror, the one who sees through his walls, understands his essence, and awakens a longing for something beyond the physical world. However, this recognition is often accompanied by resistance. The divine masculine, shaped by societal expectations and past experiences, is not always ready to embrace such intensity. He may try to rationalize the connection, dismiss it as an illusion, or convince himself that it is no different from any other relationship. This resistance arises because the connection challenges his deeply ingrained beliefs about love, vulnerability, and self-worth. He may fear losing control, being exposed emotionally, or stepping into a journey that requires inner work and transformation. The divine masculine is often conditioned to suppress emotions, seek stability, and avoid anything that threatens his sense of security. The twin flame connection, with its unpredictability and spiritual depth, can feel overwhelming. During this phase, the divine feminine may feel frustrated, confused, or abandoned. She senses the depth of the bond and wonders why he is pulling away. However, it is crucial to understand that his resistance is not a rejection of love, but a response to his own fears and limitations. The awakening process begins here, but it is a slow unraveling, one that requires patience and faith. After the initial recognition, many divine masculines enter a phase of separation, either physically, emotionally, or both. They may distance themselves, pursue other relationships, or immerse themselves in work and distractions to escape the intensity of the connection. This is often referred to as the runner stage, where the masculine believes he can suppress or outrun the pull of his twin flame. At this point, his ego is in full control. The ego thrives on logic, fear, and external validation, and it convinces him that he must follow a conventional path rather than surrender to an unknown spiritual journey. He may convince himself that the connection was just a fleeting experience, that he is not ready, or that his divine feminine deserves someone better. However, no matter how much he tries to escape, the connection never fades. The energy of the twin flame bond is eternal, and it continues to call him back, through dreams, synchronicities, and a persistent sense of something missing. His heart knows the truth, but his mind fights against it. This phase can be painful for both counterparts. The divine feminine often experiences deep heartbreak, feeling as though the connection is slipping away. However, this stage is necessary. The divine masculine must go through this struggle to confront his illusions, recognize the limitations of his ego, and begin the journey inward. No matter how much the divine masculine tries to resist, the twin flame connection continues to mirror his unresolved wounds, fears, and insecurities. This is the stage where the universe orchestrates events that force him to confront his shadow self, his deepest fears, Fear of abandonment, unworthiness, failure, or emotional vulnerability rise to the surface. He may experience life challenges, relationships that lack depth, or a growing dissatisfaction with the material world. Nothing feels fulfilling, no matter how much success or distraction he pursues. This phase is marked by intense triggering. Every unresolved wound is brought to light, urging him to acknowledge the parts of himself he has suppressed. The divine feminine's energy, whether she is physically present or not, continues to awaken something deep within him. At first, this process can be painful and disorienting. The divine masculine may resist, deny, or even project his inner struggles onto his divine feminine. However, as he begins to embrace this transformation, he realizes that running away from himself is no longer an option. The awakening has begun. There comes a point in the divine masculine's journey where he can no longer escape the truth of his connection with his divine feminine. No matter how much he has tried to suppress or deny his feelings, the universe continues to place reminders in his path. Synchronicities, recurring numbers, dreams, unexpected thoughts of his divine feminine become too frequent to ignore. A deep inner knowing begins to surface, telling him that this connection is not just an ordinary bond, but something far greater than he has ever experienced. At this stage, he begins to feel the weight of his inner struggles. The resistance he once clung to starts to feel exhausting. The more he tries to fight the connection, the more drained he becomes. He realizes that his efforts to distract himself, whether through work, relationships, or material success, are no longer fulfilling. There is an emptiness inside him that nothing else can fill, a space that only the truth of his soul can occupy. This is the moment of breakthrough, where his mind and heart finally come into alignment. He understands that the connection with his divine feminine is not something to fear or run from, but rather a sacred bond meant to help him grow. He begins to see her not as someone who threatens his sense of control, but as a mirror reflecting his highest potential. Instead of resisting his emotions, he allows himself to feel them. Instead of suppressing his vulnerabilities, he starts to accept them as a part of his journey. Surrender does not mean that he loses himself or his independence. It means that he lets go of the need to control the outcome. He stops trying to force things to fit into the expectations of his ego and instead trusts the flow of divine timing. He no longer sees love as something to be earned or proven, but as something that exists naturally between him and his divine feminine. As this realization takes root, his energy shifts. He begins to search for deeper meaning in his life. He may feel drawn to spiritual practices such as meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature. He starts to question old beliefs and look for answers within himself. For the first time, he acknowledges that his journey is not about escaping pain, but about embracing transformation. This is a powerful turning point. The divine masculine no longer feels the need to run. He recognizes that his divine feminine has been a source of healing, not harm. As he opens himself to this truth, he takes his first real step toward union, not just with her, but with himself. Once the divine masculine surrenders to the truth, his healing journey begins in full force. He no longer resists the lessons that the universe is teaching him. Instead, he actively works on releasing the wounds and fears that have held him back. He starts to dismantle the emotional walls he built around himself, understanding that these defenses were only keeping him from true love and fulfillment. During this phase, he may go through moments of deep reflection, revisiting past experiences that shaped his fears and insecurities. He may recognize patterns of avoidance, self-doubt, or emotional detachment that once seemed normal to him. Now, however, he sees how these patterns have kept him from experiencing genuine connection. As painful as these realizations can be, they are necessary for his transformation. Healing is not a linear process. Some days he may feel confident and ready to move forward, while other days he may struggle with old fears resurfacing. But unlike before, he no longer runs from these emotions. He allows himself to process them, to sit with them, and to let them pass. He understands that true strength is not about suppressing emotions, but about facing them with courage. As he continues to heal, his energy becomes lighter, more open, and more aligned with his authentic self. This shift naturally draws him back to his divine feminine. However, this time, he is not returning out of longing or attachment, but out of a deep desire to build something meaningful. He seeks to reconnect, not just for his own fulfillment, but to co-create a bond that is based on honesty, understanding, and spiritual alignment. When he reaches out to his divine feminine, it is not with the same uncertainty he once had. He communicates with clarity, expressing his thoughts and emotions more openly. He acknowledges the mistakes he made in the past and takes responsibility for his actions. More importantly, he approaches the connection with a new sense of purpose, recognizing that it is not just about romance, but about mutual growth and a higher calling. The divine feminine, who has also been on her own journey of healing, responds to this shift. The dynamic between them changes. It is no longer about chasing or running, but about standing side by side as equals. Together, they begin to create a foundation that is rooted in love, balance, and shared spiritual evolution. This stage is a crucial bridge between awakening and union. The divine masculine is no longer just acknowledging the connection. He is actively choosing to nurture it. His healing allows him to step into the next and final phase, the embodiment of divine union. The final stage of the divine masculine's awakening is when he fully steps into his true power, embracing the divine union not just with his divine feminine, but with himself. He has gone through resistance, struggle, surrender, and healing, and now he reaches a place of deep inner balance. This is where he integrates both his masculine and feminine energies, creating harmony within his soul. In this state, he no longer sees vulnerability as a weakness, but as a strength. He understands that true masculinity is not about control or dominance, but about wisdom, protection, and love. He becomes more intuitive, more in tune with his emotions, and more connected to the universe's guidance. He balances his ability to take action with his ability to listen, and he moves through life with confidence and purpose. His relationship with his divine feminine transforms into something extraordinary. It is no longer about needing each other to feel complete. It is about two whole beings coming together to share their love and light with the world. They support each other's missions, uplift one another, and create a partnership that extends beyond the physical realm. Their love becomes a reflection of divine love, unconditional, pure, and ever expanding. But embodying divine union is not just about their relationship. It is also about their impact on the world. The divine masculine, now fully awakened, understands that this journey was never just about him. He realizes that he and his divine feminine have a role to play in the collective awakening. Together, they become a force of healing and transformation, inspiring others to embrace love, authenticity, and spiritual growth. At this stage, the twin flame journey reaches its highest purpose. The struggles, the separations, and the lessons all make sense in hindsight. Everything that once seemed painful now feels like a necessary step towards something greater. The divine masculine and divine feminine stand in their power, fully aligned with their souls and with the divine plan that has been guiding them all along. This is not the end of their journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one where love is not just felt but lived, one where they walk their path together, not out of need, but out of a deep, unwavering knowing that they were always meant to find their way back to each other. The awakening of the divine masculine is not a race or a destination. It is a journey of deep transformation that unfolds in divine timing. It is a process of breaking free from old beliefs, fears, and limitations that have kept him disconnected from his true self and his divine feminine. Each challenge he faces, each moment of resistance, and each painful realization serve a greater purpose in guiding him toward healing and self-awareness. For those who are on this path, it is important to remember that this journey is unique for everyone. There is no set timeline or specific way that awakening must happen. Some divine masculines take longer to recognize the truth of their connection, while others awaken more quickly. No matter how long it takes, the love that exists between twin flames is eternal, and separation is only an illusion created by the mind. It is also essential to trust the divine plan. The universe is always working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, lessons, and experiences to bring twin flames into deeper understanding and harmony. Even when things seem stagnant or hopeless, the connection is still evolving in ways that may not be immediately visible. The divine masculine's journey is one of self discovery, and sometimes he must walk through the darkness before he can fully embrace the light. For the divine feminine, patience, self love, and inner peace are key. Instead of waiting or focusing on the separation, she is called to continue her own spiritual growth. Her energy serves as a guiding force, helping to awaken the divine masculine even when they are apart. By focusing on her own healing, joy, and purpose, she strengthens the connection and allows the union to unfold naturally. Ultimately, twin flames are not just here to find love in the physical sense, but to embody divine love in its highest form. The union of the divine masculine and divine feminine is not just about two souls coming together. It is about creating balance, spreading light, and raising the collective consciousness of the world. Every step taken on this journey brings both counterparts closer to their divine purpose and to the deeper, unconditional love that has always existed between them. No matter where you are on this journey, trust that everything is happening as it should. The twin flame path is not always easy, but it is sacred, meaningful, and transformative. The love you share is not bound by time or distance. It is infinite, and it will always find its way back to where it belongs.